Can I bomb a smoke off of one of you guys?
This draft that I'm seeing right now is very much MLC coded. Super comfort on every single one of these people. We're watching Fishcake Vyper. I believe this is actually how Fishcake became known as a player. Was due to his Vyper. His hero pool's kind of whack too. It's like frontline characters and Vyper. But I like how they've set up the lanes for success. They put the Vyper and Silver together, and this lane should just hard win no matter what lane they're in. I've said this recently in my Billy video, but for shotgun users, close quarters is essentially similar power to monster rounds in terms of priority. Close quarters has great stats on it, and because they want to play close all the time, it's really, really strong for them. But I do expect them to play this lane very, very aggressively. Yeah. Immediate point into Lethal Venom. The max damage is just really hard. So you actually get Lethal Venom roughly every single wave. So just being able to apply it constantly is super strong. But yeah, this lane is definitely looking to win hard. But right now, they don't actually have the util to play this lane super aggressively. Fishcake is playing a little bit further back, and you can kind of tell. And that's just because of the amount of regen he has. His sustain in the lane right now is really low, which is causing him to hesitate on full engagements. Which is why the Silver's kind of taking over that role right now of poking them out primarily. And you can see she's the one creating a lot of the space. So yeah, he buys healing right. So this way he can actually play more aggressively. So now he's okay with taking these stronger trades. They do end up getting one camp stolen from the vendor, but that's okay. That's a huge trade. The Sinclair's super low now. And now they can just keep putting the pressure on. They found their gap, and now they can just look to put the pressure on. Now the vendor is just going to take a lot of the brunt. And I love this dive. It's super aggressive from Lord NM, but it creates so much space. A bit of an aggressive healing rate. But just look at the damage that he's able to unleash onto this Guardian. It's 4 minutes in, and he's stacking a shred from his one. Oh, it doesn't apply the shred yet. But it's still really, really good damage. That Venator's dead. 1 HP. But they got the Guardian at 4 minutes. Good run from Average to pick up the kill. But now this Vyper is completely freed. Or at least this Silver for now is completely freed. So Fishcake's gonna farm up, get super strong, and then he's just gonna look to kill everybody on the map. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they just immediately put like the Mirage there, so then they put the Vyper somewhere else to look for all those kills too. But it looks like the first situation's gonna happen. And I like this. The Silver's there to keep on the pressure, creating the space for the Vyper to farm up. They're stealing away a lot of the jungle. They're suffocating the Venator. We can see this lead that's developed. 3.1k to 4.3k between the carries. And a lot of that is just because of the Guardian take. But he also is stealing away a lot of the camps. And they're just going to continue doing that. They're just keeping this pressure on, because the moment they send someone else, so let's say they force the Yamato or the Paradox to come help them out, they can now look at the mid lane or the left lane. The left lane also won very hard. So they're already set in a very, very prime position to win this game. Good parry on DMB. But they're just keeping the pressure on. They just have a chokehold on FPSL right now. It is so hard for FPSL to get any room to do anything now. And I do like the next purchase that Fishcake's about to make. He's buying opening rounds, which is really strong on Vyper because a lot of Vyper's damage, at least for gun or the spirit damage, is backloaded. So like lethal venom, for example. So he's essentially giving extra damage for lethal venom with opening rounds. And with that, he can kind of, and with the extra weapon damage that opening rounds gives above 50% HP, just makes it super easy for him to burst down people. So got the opening rounds. Split shot is the huge one. Because Vyper is one of those characters that are kind of hard to control a lot of the time, or at least like the shots, people get split shot to help with the accuracy. Some people use it as a crutch, which isn't great. But the important thing is because you're always in people's faces, it can get really strong because you're going to be hitting multiple people in the fights. I like how he waited after the first hit to pop the heal right, so he doesn't waste any of the value. Yeah, right now he's just farming. But once he gets to a point where he's comfortable and hits his spikes, he's just going to unleash and just kill everybody. And I like that. So he gave up the camp because he notices that there's a bunch of people in blue. So he knows he can take this 1v1 now. So he wants to keep the pressure on the Venator. DMB is playing it really well though. But now that the people have self-showing, he's not going to be able to do it as much. But he wanted to keep the pressure on because of the bridge buff. So DMB can't shove out the lane and get the bridge buff. But it's also just to keep the pressure on DMB to make it be like, hey, I'm here, I have a presence. Like, you cannot push up, otherwise you are going to die. Unless he's not alone. And this is the big purchase for Vyper. Because Vyper needs to be sliding around a lot of the time, Burst Fire with the increased slide distance helps with her sliding around and just getting more ammo, essentially. So he's just creating so much space, just allowing them to get every objective they can. And it's just these little small things that they're doing that is giving them this big gold lead. And as per usual, he's just starving the Venator away. But DMB is doing a pretty good job at maintaining status quo. And I did, like, this is a small thing as well, from previously. He left one small camp in this camp to make it so it doesn't respawn. So unless DMB goes to clear it, that camp's not going to respawn. Which is essentially stealing money away from FPSL. Another key thing is, you might be wondering, oh, why is Vyper going his spirit spike? Or going more spirit now? So, Viper's one of those characters that, because she gets an innate shield from Slither, she can kind of get away with building a lot more aggressively to try and continue to push the lead. Oh, this is cheeky. They hear the guys on the farm, and they know that, like, she's alone. So they just go to look for her. Oh, that's so good. They recognize that a bunch of people were on the left side of the map, and a few people were on the blue. Immediately take that small window of opportunity and just kill her. Lefa is broke this game. Absolutely homeless. And just like that, they got the Walker at 13 minutes. Substan. Another similar reason for the Burst Fire. Because Vyper relies so much on sliding around the map, she needs to have stamina in order to do so. So just having it just helps a lot. With a stamina regen and just being able to stay active in these fights. I am curious if he's going to finish off going as a green spike, or he's just going to go full aggressive and build more weapon damage. Or more damage, I should say. Yeah. So he recognizes that he's playing weak side, so he's just kind of letting the wave crash to him. He's trying to absorb as much pressure as he can. And his sub stamina just helps him get out there.
I see paradox.
So he's quickly gonna reset with fast sip and just rejoin them. Yeah, so he gets bullet life steal, so he does get his green spike. Oh, unfortunate warpstone.
I see, guys.
The fight of a lifetime.
May your blade continue to strike true, Shyerow.
The sub-stem also helped him chase there. So he's just going back to fix the wave. Because there's nothing really to play for right now. So he wants to make sure that he continues putting on the pressure. And I like this. They're doing a lane swap here so that the Vyper can continue putting on a pressure on a walker. Mirage doesn't have the same amount of pressure and can utilize a dead lane way more because he can just shove it out and then look for a TP elsewhere. And he doesn't mind letting the wave crash into him either. So by doing this lane swap, they have a larger threat on the walker.
I see the enemy. Just give up.
And it's cool to see that the Silver and Vyper are just roaming around together a decent amount. Well, I should say roaming around, but they're looking to put pressure on these walkers together. Because the Silver is just going to create the space for the Vyper, and the Vyper is just going to run everybody down. Merkmag. The purchase is pretty interesting because it has a similar reason, or a similar usage as Wraith. Because Vyper kind of has unlimited ammo due to the amount of she is sliding. So she pretty much has permanent uptime of Merkmag damage. Plus Vyper has a lot of fire rate, so she can benefit from it like quite strongly.
I see Billy. I see Sinclair.
And I like this. They just look for the one pick, and they immediately go mid. I will say though, there are some interesting strats going on right now, where some Vipers are actually going to put 2 points in their into their dagger to get the shred to help shred mid boss early. In this game, Fishcake doesn't do that, but that's also because he's so far ahead
Let's get this party.
that it doesn't really matter if he does or not. So I like this. They're playing aggressively with their rejuve. And using that space to get the walker. Because they know that FPSL is going to be playing for the rift. So they look to split push the walker, and now it's opened up a lot of map space. And they let them get the rift. So and with Vyper split pushing, it's really hard to contest them. Because they kind of need to send everybody for the Vyper in order to kill it right now.
I see the Venator.
They push roadway.
And she can afford to do this because of the rejuve. So even if she dies, it give them enough time to rotate and help her out.
I see Yamato.
While this rejuve wasn't that useful, they did end up losing Rift, and FPSL has successfully kind of thwarted them off. They did end up getting like Urn and Walker, which isn't a terrible rejuve, but it's not the most ideal. But they still have a bit, so they're just going to look to continue putting pressure on as much as they can. He's resetting just for his buy, and he doesn't want to go to their secret shop just in case there's like a trap set for them. Unstop is almost essential on Vyper. And the reason for it is because she's going to be sliding around so much that she doesn't want it to get interrupted at all. Because the moment, like, anything like a knock-up or whatever, or a stun, just, that thwarts a lot of her damage. So what ends up happening is she'll need to buy Unstop in order to get through all of that and just continue pumping out the damage. But yeah, they're just going to be chilling until next mid-boss, for the most part. There's not much to play for on the map, so both teams are going to continuously look for a pick.
I see Billy.
And if not, they're just going to continue farming, pushing out the waves. It seems like they found a pick on DNB here. Oh, that's a good unstop timing. He popped the unstop so he wouldn't get knocked back from the Venator. Iridomini. Huge 2 picks. And just because of those 2 picks, all they have to do now is just shove out the lanes, and they can look to take that last walker. And you can see that FBSL is just looking to defend it. But in the meantime, what Fishcake's going to end up doing is he's going to look to push down the Guardians. Maybe even look to grab a Shrine. But yeah. So FBSL defends it well, but they were forced to pretty much dictate, or the melee creeps were dictated the pace of the game and forced FBSL to defend that one
There's
walker,
Lady Geist.
which allowed them to push out their other waves.
There's Lady Geist.
But at this point in the game now, Fishcake got so fed because he had so much pressure that he was pretty much able to free farm. Anyone who contested him pretty much died. And now he's just able to just go ham. Now that he has the 2 points in his Screwjob Dagger, he can kind of 1v1 the walker even without the minion wave.
Let's push on.
And now with the shred as well, they can kind of just look to take mid boss on spawn as well. Just force a fight at mid. Test the bullets is always really good on high fire rate characters. And especially since he's building some spirit, it's quite beneficial to have. Just a little bit of added bonus damage. Yeah, and this is just a desperate play from melee creeps. They're forcing mid because they're so far behind, they need to do something. Good Cuban rescue to heal him back up.
Thanks. Let's take out Sinclair. There's Lady Geist. The Baxter Society has your number.
Guys, why? Fight. You know what's gonna happen. Learn this trick in Jersey.
I see Peridot. Let's take out Peridot.
And I do like how he's being patient there too. So he waited to make sure that he wasn't the first one in and face checking just certain death. Because he doesn't know where they are. So he waits for his teammate to go in first, and then now he's able to just back up and reset.
I see Yamato.
But by letting his teammate go in, he was able to dish out some of the damage. And now you have Vampiric, he's just healing off the mid boss.
Careful, Vyper.
Good parry.
I feel like Lash in a room full of bebops.
They got Rift mid boss. This game is pretty much as good as done. They should be able to waltz into the base with the respawn timers and just grab the shrines and end the game.
Peridox.
If melee creep somehow uses a rejuve in the process of this, it's a mistake. Or in the process before dropping, I should say.
I'm gonna mow you all down.
And FPSL is just staggering themselves.
I see Billy. I see Yamato. I see guys.
And he's just playing this aggressively because even if he does die, which does end up happening, he just made the cooldown, the respawn timer so long that they can just force the end no matter what. So they still have one rejuve. The respawn timers of Venator, Yamato, and Geist are so long that it's just going to be impossible for any of them to really do anything. So they can just end. That was still a good attempt by Xeno. They can just focus the patron. And that's GG's. Really well done by keeping the pressure on by the Vyper. Super small things, but like slowly built a lead, enabled himself to just take any 1v1 he wanted. And just created a lot of space for himself.
Someone like me.
It was just beautiful.